What's up, guys? I'm having an incredibly cozy, intimate iPad filming sesh here. Dual wielding. We got the Chromebook for now. Loving it. Music recording not happening these days, but I do have this iPad to fuck around with at some point. And then self care. We have a whole horde of these classics eaten already in a tizzy, and then also a polar cranberry clementine. It's a very delightful seltzer. It's up there for me in the top four of polar. And I would perhaps say two. Um I don't know though. I'd have to really think. I'm a La Croix grapefruit slash pamplemousse obsessive, and I like those better than polar grapefruits, but I think Polar's grapefruits are good, and I like all their standard flavors, but cranberry lime is just my fave. It's just never gonna get better. I would say I can't fathom a better seltzer, but I'm always excited for new ones. Let me tell you about the bottling sitch, because on the West Coast we get them bottled by Keurig Dr Pepper or whatever. I think, or Seven Up. I'm embarrassed I don't remember which, but fuck. But that being said, it's a different water source, and sentimentally, in the East Coast, it's lovely to have the Massachusetts bottling sitch. Did my cousins go? Yeah, on a pilgrimage. It was a beautiful trip for them. I haven't been to their bottling spot, and they might even have a couple in Mass and somewhere else, but it's uh it's just one of those flavors that just doesn't deserve criticism. And yeah, the water might be better if you're in New England, within the can, because it's coming from some godly source. But regardless of the water, we're talking flavor up the wazoo, and their carbonation is just so ideal. Like, I love La Croix on a summer day, warm I mean, it's great. We love it, but the carbonation is quick on a summer day because it goes down fast. It's not super carbonated, but Polar's more versatile because it's so carbonated that it's refreshing when warm almost, and it's gonna last, I mean, for hours. There's a huge CO2 difference, and it's respectable to love La Croix because their flavors are never ending and very good, I think. I mean, you can't say for me that Pamplemousse wasn't number one before discovering Cran Lime. Because in a stupid twist, I think I got that flavs in my membrane late in life, even if I may have encountered it in the wild when I was in Vermont, or Massachusetts. I don't know if I had. I was also an early SodaStream adopter going back to '08. Um, this was Christmas of '07, actually, excuse me, before I moved to Argentina. Read about it in the school newspaper and immediately got it for Christmas. Loved it, and still, I think in one of my storage unit thefts, or I think in one of my horrible moves, it's gone. I may have even recently somehow had the vessel, but I don't think I did. But God bless that seltzer. It's a memorabilia item in my heart because I was an early adopter, but there were people before me. And so I missed out on seltzer flavoring for a key part of life because I was so already into the soda stream. And I respect my game of recycling, but also it's just you can't replicate the flavors. Like, and you the thing is, if you're on the Somerville water system, like, you're not tapping into the pure water in those cans. I don't know what BPA adjacent thing they used to line it, but like, we were all cooking with non-stick, like, and we're still imbibing this BS, MAHA.gov. maha.net. Ache a America. How antiquated were our health practices? Quite. Um, Ache. Oof. Seltzer. Yes. We love it. Did I miss out because of weird OCD around just bizarre recycling discriminate? I don't even know anymore. Guys, I know that these homeless peeps have full-time jobs collecting 10-cent cans out on these West Coast streets, at least in this Oregon, and even at 5 cents it's a good deal. And you just prowl around in trash cans getting these cans. Why? Because everybody want that aluminum. So we're fine within that framework, giving these people weird ass jobs essentially. But also, let's keep in mind, Holmes, with regard to seltzer and the can process of collecting, we even need to appreciate the fact that seltzer's the metaphor. It's a Jewish treat. We electrified the world with it. And we also have severe JBS. And it causes contentment in the tummy. Oh, you're hydrating too? And it's soothing to your stomach? Yeah, keep it kosher, guys. And don't worry about the recycling and the whole thing of the can. Like, look, we're all making compromises here. Like, should I buy a soda stream at this point again? Yes. Will I make a pilgrimage to Shasta to collect that water at that park again? Sure. Will I rope somebody into it? God bless ya. Is it a fun trip though? Shasta, me and my element, pissing peeps off at the bar because they're too wookie or because they're hot for my G? Yes. Faux show. And my G being my captive girlfriend to the shaman, Crystal Man, 100% happened. Me just rolling with this crazy person, trying to get her to break up with me at the bar. Oh, yeah. Hawking crystals, me watching basketball, and then finally he snapped because I couldn't listen to his crystals and I had to watch the playoffs in the corner of my eye. And it may have actually been the regular season. I think it was. Fuck it, it definitely was. Sorry, shaman. I don't care about your spiel. Oops, I offended you. Sports equals sacrifice of my time and my attention. Oh, I'm listening to some spiel from my mom my whole life. Great. I'm going to think about the Mets when I'm 8, the Mets when I'm 9, the Knicks when I'm 9 and a half. Like, bro, easy money. Oh, I have a parallel track. Oh, you're talking about bullshit? New York Knicks. Oh, what? You think something stupid and antiquated? Bleh. San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks, lockout finals. Oh, yeah, dude, parallel track. Just think about sports all the time when you can, which is listening to a narcissist bullshit around. Oh, wait, have a seltzer while you're at it? Fuck yeah. Don't mind if I do. It calms the stomach and hydrates. It's incredibly refreshing. Oh, I take it to the hot springs in Idaho? Of course. Who doesn't? Yeah, buy the fucking 8-pack, at least, let alone a 12er, which you know would be my pref. I just bring the box. Don't need a cooler. Fuck it. But sure, if you want, fuck. Go for it. It's seltzer, guys. It's a friend. And don't feel bad about the recycling because also, what does it all matter? Why do these people get paid to collect our cans so they can buy drugs? I don't even understand it. But I love it because I don't get it. But also, it's life. What isn't a make work program these days? AI can be Wikipedia for humanity because also, in addition to wiki functions, like 12% of men, it also it also has 12 million% more jillion capacity to not be biased like human beings. So we're really going to roll with this AI stuff because AI hopefully can't be as racist as Stephen Miller. And Stevie's running the show at this agency doing your bureaucratic bullshit. Key to the heart of Stalin, be a bureaucrat NPC. Oh, wait, all these people follow rules for everybody else to do real stuff? Amazing. They're going to rope everybody into a con. Everybody else has to go. You're a free thinker? Hasta la vista. NPC life within bureaucracies? Undefeated. Easy months to live a comfortable bullshit life. Oh, how stupid does somebody's lifestyle look? Okay, maybe they're an NPC. Given that they have X amount of dollars, aka time, to do whatever within their life, bank it in positive or bullshit ways. So if you're spending your time and money doing bullshit, and then the only reason you're rewarded within that framework is because you're following mom and dad's advice in some fucking bureaucracy, like grow a pair. Like, dang, I'm literally reporting on the news and I can't talk about Gaza because I'm a bitch. Like, grow a fucking pair. Like, you're a Jewish intellectual within your 20s, 30s, or 40s. You have nothing to say about Gaza. Like, God bless you. Genocide on your fucking conscience. You don't have a dime to say about it, I guess. Dime dollar, dame dollar, take a shot. Shoot it, half court, try it. You're just one person. You don't have anything to say, though. Nothing. It's being done for you if you don't speak up. That's for sure. I guess you approve of it? Can't speak out, huh? It's only selective. You got guilted into going to that fucking service or two, and you pretend like you wear the hat all the time when you don't. Within the framework of having a voice within yourself and broader society, time and place in which you live, via living according to a code of ethics transmuted to you via the ether of words and practices dating back many, many decades of years. It's all within us to write a chapter or even a sentence in that motherfucking book. Love me or hate me, I'm gonna go down with my motherfucking pen as a sword and say something when I see something that's so disgustingly wrong. And a harbinger of so much trouble in the world, but also a chance for breakthrough within the 100% will framework of my positivity. Keep it 100%, but also, like, even as the patriarchy goes down in fucking flames, like within a masculine code of ethics, like I can definitely call out other men in ways I would never do to the women within our religious or ethical system, like for sure, or whatever, ethnography compels us to be labeled within a word. Um, but it also refers to a system of, like, literally speaking up, like love or hate the prophets, but they were compelled to say something when they saw injustice. um what happened to that? Like, it's the ultimate NPC attitude of non-participating in Christianity, because within the past 2000 years we've definitely evolved understanding of how to fucking do the right thing by God, aka perpetuating the species, aka when you see an injustice done in your name, you should feel compelled to speak out. Otherwise, you're tacitly supporting it. Um, because as we're continuing to see, like, you can benefit from certain privileges within our society in a million ways. And whether or not you feel like it's an obligation upon you from any HP, um, please just also recognize right now, please, that if I could say anything, I would say use your voice and just say yes or no. Like, it doesn't have to be a complicated question nor answer, because the root to all of this obfuscation within your psyche, perhaps, is the fact that this truly and literally is being done for us. We have the privilege of dual citizenship, immediate reception despite any pending legal charges or cases against us, full immediate citizenship, exemption from armed services, immediately grandfathered into full welfare state benefits in a paradise, except for the fact that all of it was basically stolen. Very recently and very hard to ignore. So, that being said, it's all good to appreciate the benefits we get, and we continue to support perhaps the state of Israel, and we can say so however vociferously we want. At the end of the day, it's worth divorcing Zionism from the equation, because even if we support Israel in very immediate and practical ways, we can divorce that support from the simple question of an immediate end to what is happening in Gaza, a full end. There should not be discussions about a ceasefire. This has to end now. The United States of America funds and arms all of this. We are doing it by proxy, but what does the proxy matter? Because the ultimate leverage within the world system is that Israel doesn't control the American voter. They do control what information the voter gets, but we don't live in Israel. So that's the beauty of not living there, is that it's pretty impartial if we had access to the facts to decide what to do, because we live in a free country. Like, they've captivated a lot of NPCs in the media ecosystem and thrown a lot of money at it, but like the actual America I live in every day is fucking great. Just like being alive. I like seeing cool people. Sure, I piss people off wherever I happen to go, but like overall, on Earth, I think whether you're in America or on my weird pilgrimage to India or on my lovely times in Latin America or in various amazing parts of the US, whether north, south, east, or west I've been to, I'm really stoked to be alive and I love being American. Overall, I don't have any mixed feelings about it anymore because I think we're capable of the best. And I'm loving this John Adams biography, and I'm really even more inspired by the Abigail Adams biography I just got, and I'm catching up to John's timeline with. But it's all sauna reads, guys, so it's slow and mostly really positive to get out of the frame of negativity involving our world situation. Um, but I have to end this and record a subsequent podcast because I just find this too ethereal to wrap up on such a weird note. But it started with seltzer, ended with an exhortation to my fellow Jewish men of a certain millennial sort. Like, gang, like, hate me all you want. And I am a Christian these days, which sucks. But it also doesn't. Because the thing about this weird binary I feel like we inherited with both our understanding of Judaism and parallel to that, all my Christian homies sometimes understanding of Christianity, it's not exclusive, but like, I'm trying my whole life to get over that. Like, maybe Jesus did have a point about always trying to do our best. Like, and that it doesn't really matter if we're trying. I don't know. Like, even if we fucked up in the past, like, I'm this compulsive history buff, and I tried and tried and tried to learn all these facts about the life and times of every earlier life and time that caught my fancy. But, like, man, at the end of the day, like I have so many regrets in my life. I could write several trillion books about them, but like I have positives in my life too, like things to live for, and like I'm excited for that, you know? And there is a binary, but there isn't. And like I don't know, that's what pisses me off though, is like within the binary framework of our religion, at least the one my mom raised me in, like through her family and whatever, like it was always like extremely binary, guys. And I still feel that. And I had a parasocial, weird inculcation to that entire culture in various ways. But like, I grew up in it for sure. And yeah, it was definitely a binary, but probably a good one. Like, maybe I get like an asshole football coach when I'm in Jewish mode. I think I do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. By the way, was Coach K coded as Jewish? Okay, that's one of the coolest parasocial, bizarre. I'm a UNC, obviously, guys, but I just have this respect now for Duke. I'm phased out of testosterone dominating my fandom, and I'm loving it. As a middle aged guy or approaching it, fuck. This is the sweet spot for sports, guys. We're just uncles at this point, and it's a blast. But yeah, Jedi Uncle Mike, Coach K, within my fanfic, he just had a certain Jewish twist to complaining a lot and like needling the refs, sometimes like not needling them. Of course, he had the ski, but then he's just we always my high school my excuse me childhood basketball and baseball coach was a Duke alum. One of my closest homies, Duke alum dad. I know the Duke lore. So I never thought he was Jewish. I had a compulsive OCD list of Jewish athletes and coaches in my head. My friends knew all about Larry Brown, guys. Um, and my AI fandom, dovetailing with my Larry Brown truther obsession, involving my Jewish OCD with athletes. Yes, gang. Definitely was there. Anyways, Jedi Larry. So speaking of AI, guys, I got answers one time for why I got questions at a basketball camp but couldn't receive them. I got embarrassed in front of the whole camp our last day. A raffle winner was given a pair of AI questions, new in box Reeboks. For me, I won the lottery, but I was outside getting shave ice with my friends I lured outside. And then other friends came and said, yeah, you lost a pair of sneakers. You could have had new AIs, but you were too fucking hopped up on sugar to even think about it. Oh, yeah, Clayboy shaved ice? Yeah, IYKYK. For sure. Bullis B-ball camp? Yeah, shout him out. Me, sneaker obsession involving AIs a few times. Yeah, I got a separate two, at least one other pair of fucking questions stolen, guys. Or lost. I don't even know at this point. What is my stuff remaining of? Like I somehow the most memorabilia collecting idiot lost so much good memorabilia, but also a lot of it was stolen in organized theft. In Portland. Long story short, came back from Argentina, a bunch of stuff gone. Priceless sneaks, priceless books. No quiero hablar más sobre eso. But that being said, Stephen Miller mode, guys. Just remember, think about Steve. Like, we have positive Jewish rep within the Nathan Fielder, Seth Rogen, me, even, perhaps. No. Yes. What? Okay. So yeah, even perhaps Denny. Wait, that doesn't count. Who's the really positive young gun? Timmy's half, I guess. Fuck him. Throw him in. Me too. Me and Tim. Throw us in together. Oh yeah, I'm stealing Valor for sure. Hot Tim and ugly ass JB. Stolen motherfucking Valor. Come on. Okay, who else? Let's think of some other hot J's. Oh, fuck, bro. This is so dumb. But guys, think about the cultural rep. We have peeps like that, Stephen Miller, rounding up immigrants because they were jealous of them in high school. We've all seen that tweet I retweeted. It's so true. Okay, if I was racist, I would have been jealous of all my black friends for sure. Okay, who wouldn't have been? Instead, they got me laid, guys. Indirectly, that's why I'm not racist. I actually benefited from being cool. Okay, directly getting laid a few times because of my hotter, cooler friends who may or may not have been black told the girls explicitly to, yes. And by explicitly, I mean gently and nicely. Okay, but yeah, stolen valor syndrome, Steve never got that from the Latinos in his community. Think about it, okay? So yeah, he was really jealous because he wanted cool Latino friends to hook him up with girls. But instead, he was such an NPC, he probably was on porn too much for his own good. And KDM's came late NL. He was already set in his mindset by the time he met some woman. So she's probably been subjected to his whims. We don't know Katie's backstory, okay? So don't segregate her within the male framework of saying all of Steven's horrible actions are Katie's fault, okay? Please let Katie grow through this, and maybe Steven if he takes DMT in Israel. Okay? I always have a standing offer to go with them to get them out of the US if they decide to move. I will move with the Millers. And they can fucking put a GPS and Elon can track my metadata, guys. Like Palantir, hook it up with Alex and Uncle Peter. Like they'll track me. I'll give them 10 months in Israel, but I need 2 to travel. In the US, doesn't have to be. Give me Marseille and Buenos Aires. I'll be fine. And of course, India, let alone China. I actually do prefer to actually live with Stephen and Katie in China. The problem is that they won't be compelled to go. But that being said, if we do move to Israel together, they can live wherever they want. But I'll like meet up with them for periodic chats. And if they want to do DMT, that's chill. Otherwise, we'll just have enough convos. Maybe we'll both change our minds about everything. In the process of just conversing, it would be a cool litmus test. I don't know. Maybe Steven does feel the total opposite of how I do about the Latino complex. I'm just projecting, but also I sort of have a keen eye for racism within my weird middle school framework and understanding male jealousy. It's really real. Like, you get jealous of your friends different ways. You can be misogynistic and be jealous of women overall, and then poisons everything. And I regret to inform you that ultimately I have to confess to that. But separate from that is jealousy of the other men and their success with women and their fill in the blank. And I feel like for Steven, he probably just got jealous because it doesn't truly make sense. Like, I don't think anybody thinks this is rational because it's like the ICE tactics and everything else, like, it is Nazi inspired directly, and it seems, I don't even know how to caveat anything. Like, I'm saying I feel there's a resonance and corollary. Certainly when Neilon, like, it's just the old media ecosystem of improperly being able to call things out. Like Elon gave us like a Hail Hitler salute or whatever, and like the media's like allegedly, or like we have to say, anywho. And with this stuff, it's like, yeah, it's pretty Gestapo coded and it's sending a message. I know that he doesn't want immigrants to come to the US, but I don't understand how that would overall, like, we have a floating population of, and yes, I'm referencing the Huko system. We have a floating population of like a bunch of people who are either undocumented or quote unquote underdocumented, who are doing like basically very necessary jobs, and our country's economy would collapse. So because we don't, the guest worker system is bureaucratic and it doesn't work properly, and like we have an incredibly crazy informal economy in the US. Insane. Like, within how different tiers of work are structured and like layers of complying with things and like guest worker stuff, in my experience. And so I just feel like it's what excuse me, I called him Elon, Freudian slip. What Stephen is trying to do is basically dissuade people from coming. I think can make a lot of undocumented people leaving, and then I think it's like basically leaving a mess down the road of immigration reform. And so the point being, why even do this? Like, the reform, is what's necessary. Ultimately, it has nothing to do with terrorizing people and all these jobs. It would tank our economy if we just get everybody left. That's the obvious truth. So it's not, he's not trying to get people to leave. He's trying to make their lives very difficult so that they tell friends and family not to come, quote unquote self deport, because it sucks so much. But otherwise, like, the economy adjusts and eventually people have enough economic incentives because all of our prices get higher, and some of these undocumented people stay because they're paid more, and it's worth the risk in the weird psychological sense of like how pricing incentives work. And so we'll see what the market says, but like for now we're just living in the Stephen Miller world where it's creating it's literally creating a horror films every day to terrorize people into not coming here. It's terrorism 101. Women and children, part of the show. because you're achieving the same end as like a combat or like a conventional warfare, but via the aim and the means of terrorizing women and children and murdering some of them for no reason, like and then law-abiding men and women, like just being locked up, it's corrosive to the body, mind, and soul, unless you're bipolar, in which case I hate to say it, but I actually do think that's kind of good in terms of the similarities between a prison and a closed psych ward unit with like residential or like, you know what I mean, not but like long term, medium term psych unit, like a ward. Like, I hate to say it, but it's not torture for people with psychotic mental illness. It's actually kind of perfect. And I've learned the hard way in hindsight to appreciate the ward. Like, sunlight, honestly, no. Like, I know that's insane, guys, but like, not healthy. Like, it sucks so much to be confessing this, but like, it actually isn't in that state of mind. Like, you don't want to be in the sun sometimes. Like, it's psychologically more spiritual and therapeutic to be like in a transformative indoor space. Like, you need to confront your demons. Like, it's not like good to be in the open air via like being too, I would say, like, psychosis best left to dissipate like pretty gradually without the stimuli of real life, and also without the pressure of performing for real people. And even if it's in a outdoor setting with other patients and like nurse aides and stuff like that, and like maybe not really even outsiders, it still feels too real. Like, you want to be cloistered with your demons, like away from society, and like confront them. um it's not appropriate to like keep your liminal purgatory self like within the real life of the physical world, because like we're all inhabiting our own experience visually and via the other senses, and like it's nice to contain it in a routine of an indoor space where no light comes in. Like, it's also artificial light, but it's not the same. Like, you can't replicate sunlight, and it's good. You might have some like ambient light come through a window, but obviously it's not the same. It's good. Like, it's all good. Time and place, like, anywhere can be a prison. But what even is a prison is an open ended question. Who are we really, anyways? And why is a prison a prison? Do we just live in prisons if we're not married? And do we live in prisons always unless we're married? I don't know. But I think it's Ponder Sesh 120911 right now. .gov. Man, if I could only have a podcast one day, I would have a co-host to restrain me in. That's one of the greatest podcast attributes, is like somebody who can restrain. It's an electrifying restraint. And it's fun to hear a podcast duo or trio and there's just a good restrainer. Like, come on. You're talking about the girl of your dreams one minute and you're talking about the New York Mets the next. let alone the pizza at Coney Island. Guys, it's just an endless weird ass life these days. Like, what is the prison, anyways, and does it even exist to begin with? Because half of existence seems to be looking backwards. And that's ultimately my Judaism in a nutshell. I might be in a prison of sorts, perhaps just being solo too much, or perhaps I need to log off .gov and finish HarryPotter.net so I can make this hilariously endearing bit about it before the world turns me off. But the thing about life is that, yeah, a lot of time looking back. I don't know. It's weird being in uncle mode now, literally, now that I have two nephews, and then also like younger, like cousin nieces, basically, and nephews, and like being aging out of being myself, like that age where you have a lot of artistic wisdom and stuff that like gets passed down to you. It's avuncular mode these days, I guess. And it's kind of sweet. And I guess part of it is just like you realize like time is like that sand thing. Like it's the ultimate Jedi stupid weird metaphor of like sand tumbling, and like man, about halfway down for me and less for them, or less for me when I was younger, like man, when that sand is accumulated at the bottom, like I think it's kind of sweet to like pick out the little like kernels of sand, like like little like memories, or like shout out tributes, like artists and stuff like that. Like, oh, like, yeah, because if I was in prison or on a desert island, I hope I'd have a polar seltzer with me for sure. Um, if that UPS plane goes down, I guess I'd find relief there. But no, I mean, I think above all else, like, yeah, I guess it's somewhat artificial. Like, what is prison? You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, like, we just have these weird mental models and we have fun when we mingle, unless we're not having a fun inner turmoil time. Um, we have a blast. And, like, that being said, like, when we're hanging, stuff like that, like, of course, nostalgia steeps in. And it's kind of beautiful and mysterious, but like within looking forward to the future and appreciating the present, even within the present and what we'll do in the future, a lot of it is still looking back. And I think that's the magic of people. Maybe we're not like AI because, unlike AI, like we're more mixed in our sort of like appreciation of the past within the present. I don't know. It's so funny. Like we see this polar seltzer and like man, it conjures up a lot of memories for me, but like it's also just really appreciated in the present. But somehow the way our mental models work, it's just sort of ambient nostalgia. And maybe that's the art within all of us is appreciating this weird, like, oh man, I hope this reference resonates with some other mental model or some other beautiful soul. Like sick. They also loved Turtles in Time when they were kids. Me too. Such good art. I don't know. So I'll find inspo on that, and I'm gonna have another dinner part two because I feel like it. But this was fun, and I appreciate y'all. Yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it here, have a great one.